Hey guys, before we start, a quick shout out to Alpha Dog Nutrition for sponsoring this podcast. Alpha Dog products are now available at dusupply.com, and you can use code ALPHADOG15 at checkout for 15% off and a credit for free shipping to try it yourself. Now let's get you to your podcast.
This week on Interviews, Stories, and Tales, our Monday Night Live, we're going to talk about the why. Why do we want to be houndsmen? Why do we deal with these dogs? Why do we put up with everything we put up with as a houndsman? And if you want to see this live, go to YouTube's channel, Interviews, Stories, and Tales. Every Monday night, we're live talking about everything houndsman. Hope you enjoy this episode.
Bada boom, bada bing. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we're live.
Live as we'll ever be.
You're real quiet.
Me? Oh.
Yep.
Okay. How about now? Am I quiet
now?
Still
quiet. I can turn you up.
Be on your...
Still quiet. Real quiet. Like it's not even your microphone.
Hang on. Oh, you know what? Oh, default microphone.
There you are.
Is that better?
That's better. Now you're loud. I'll turn you down just a little bit. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
Sounds good. What's going on this evening, Chris? Tell me what the good word is.
Good word. I don't have a good word. I've been busy again. I cut wood yesterday. Saturday it rained. We got some good rain Saturday.
Benny got some good rain.
Oh, that's what I hear. Roswell's underwater. I seen some videos. I didn't know if I should believe it.
He's at Hagerman, but that's close to Roswell. But look at what the cat's drug in.
What?
Look at him. He doesn't even have any water on his head.
I know. Maybe he has his waders on, though. You get some rain up there at all, Benny, or is it just all Roswell?
No, not at my house. Nothing. Roswell got some rain, but most of the rain was north and west.
Well, I thought Roswell flooded.
Stuff. Yeah, Roswell did flood, and Dexter flooded, and Hagerman flooded, and we couldn't. Yesterday, we couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't get across the river to the east. We couldn't go through the country to the south. We would have had to go all the way up to Local Hills or Maljamar to go around to Artesia, or we could have gone to Tatum and hopefully get into Roswell. But I had everything I needed right here. I had fresh eggs, a little bit of water, some bacon, and my first wife.
Good. You know, the government, they say the government is manipulating the weather, but why in the world would they want to flood you guys out over there?
Well, why not Roswell? That's where all the aliens are. They need to get
not
rid
anymore.
Of the
I don't think the aliens are there anymore.
They all washed away?
Yeah, now the big deal.
Have you ever heard of Vincent Craig? Sorry.
Vincent Craig.
Yes. He sings that song.
The Candy Bar.
Well, the Candy Bar song, he sings the Alien song.
I haven't heard the Alien song.
Oh, yeah. We need to get that song on there and play it.
What is it?
Vincent Craig. Or is it Craig Vincent or Vincent Craig?
It's Vincent Craig. He's a Navajo. He passed away, but you've heard the Candy Bar song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby Nell Leonard sang the Candy Bar song for us.
I got that somewhere here.
He sings an Alien song, too. It's pretty funny. Guy's pretty good.
Huh.
I have his CDs. I have all his CDs.
What's a CD?
I knew a guy who knew him. Yeah, signed, I think, too.
What's a CD?
It's been a while. He died. He died in 2000 and maybe 9 or 10, I want to say. It's been a while.
Indian boy in Navajo?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a singer. Real funny guy. Has some good songs. Yeah.
He was an entertainer.
So, Benny, what have you done? Anything happening? Have you been, besides running a gravel pit?
I've been back on the blade again for almost a week, and then we didn't work today because we couldn't get anywhere. And I'm supposed to go get the blade and rode it 12 miles to a different place, different pit, and scratch out some more storage space for gravel.
Well, good. Keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah. And been looking at properties and stuff online, and I got to talk to the realtor and see about I think the Sunday and Monday before Thanksgiving, going over there and looking at stuff.
What is that? Is that place you was talking about earlier?
Yeah, there's a couple places right now that we've got on our list to look at and
Yeah.
see what pops up between now and then.
See who we got here in the peanut gallery. Jeremiah Flaw, howdy. Louisiana Hunting. Missy's here. We missed her last time. She didn't show
I
up,
know.
did she?
I called her. And I said, "Where
Good.
you at? Where you been?" Well,
Don't
God
let
damn
her get out of socket.
No.
Rick Cooley,
Never.
Idaho Hound Hunting, Hazelnut Hounds, Randy Riggs, Felipe Castro. Good evening.
Hazelnuts hounds.
Did I say that wrong? I can't read.
Hazelnut.
Hazelnuts. What'd I say? Hazelnuts.
Hazelnuts.
Hazelnut Hounds.
Yeah, let's just start off making fun of people already.
Yeah, you know,
Man, I've been editing video all day.
been working at it, huh?
Oh, I had to do a podcast real quick, send it to W. That was
Cool.
on Thursday.
Which one you got going out?
The one I did Wednesday when I had the Great American Hound puppy giveaway people on.
Oh, okay, cool.
New Mexico Hound Hunting was on. They did what's his name? TL Jones. They were looking for a trailer. You know, he asked me a few weeks ago, hey, if we find one person, we'll concentrate on one. And he did. He found a gal that hound hunted and everything got washed away. So they were looking for a trailer. And I guess they found one. So
Good.
And I said, well, if she needs anything else, let us know. And we'll try to get it sent to her. She has like 3 or 4 kids. So, you know, clothes, shoes, all that good stuff, food.
We got Mike Rich, Kelly Berry, Troy Barber. Is that how you say that?
Barbarian.
Cass River Ranch, West Siberian, Leica.
Oh, you know who sent me a funny video? Gene Morris. And he's making fun of all of us in the welding and Benny. Let me just send it to you. Oh, he just sent another one too. I can't wait. Oh,
Guy
Kamala
Fry
class. You don't
from
wanna see that one.
Arkansas. And our buddy, I can't remember his name. What's his name?
Dylan.
Dylan.
Is he back?
Sorry,
Axel
Dylan.
Miller.
Back. He's been
We
missing
need to
for
get him on. We need to get him on and see. Maybe he posted it. Barber. Barber.
Mr. Anderson.
Dandy.
John Page from Kentucky.
Let me see. Man, did he send that to my... Maybe he took it off. I was going to send it to you. It was kind of funny. I can't find it. Anyways, Benny, what else you been doing?
Oh, this week we're planning on everything, and I've been throwing stuff in the pit out back so that we can clean this place up, put it on the market. And this weekend I'll be over in Brett's neighborhood, and the following weekend I'll be over in your neighborhood.
There you go.
What are you going to be doing in my neighborhood? Visiting family?
He's meeting with the undercover guy about you.
The twins will be teenagers.
Oh,
Wow.
gross.
I ran into your daughter the other day. I guess I told you I was coming out of the mountains.
Yeah.
They were going for a hike up through there. Of an evening. It was a nice evening too. There's Marty Beard. I talked to him the other day on the telephone. My good buddy. Houndsman, Deluxe. Trying to listen to the big words tonight.
G. Swaza.
So what else? I don't know. Turn that thing off.
Oh, I forgot. Everybody knows I do a live every Monday, and they still call me.
You are on the phone quite a bit, aren't you, Chris?
I was on the phone till noon today. A lot of PI stuff. Had to make some calls and then some other business stuff, and then I don't know. I have to go down there. I have to go down to Buckeye and pick up some mountain lion kittens. Some guy has some over there. I gotta get them over there.
Knucklehead.
I gotta get them over there to Roswell area.
You got to deliver them to Benny.
I guarantee.
Well, they better be catfishing kind of cats this right now.
Oh, Nicholas finished his book.
Nicholas. Oh, he did. He's been kind of busy, hasn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
He
ain't got no time for us little peasants.
He's one of those egghead guys that's so smart he doesn't like to talk to guys like us.
No. He don't like to talk slow. Use small words.
And dumb it down for us.
Mm-hmm. Hey, check out my cup.
Was it got moonshine in it?
It's a little... No, it's water.
Moonshine with a straw?
Yeah.
That'll work.
It's a little lid you can buy for these mason jars.
It's like
kind of cool.
Make your own sippy cup.
Yeah. That way, the oxygen, you don't get no oxygen in that moonshine and it hits you real good.
So, Mr. Chris, you titled the episode tonight, Why?
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 Why? Why?
What were your thoughts?
Why do we do all this stuff? Why? Why do we
Why do
run
we
hounds?
do we do this, or
Everything.
is it why do we
Everything.
hunt, or why do
I
we
mean,
invite Benny on?
why do we invite Benny on? He's an outlaw. He's undercover outlaw.
Alleged.
That is true.
Nothing's been proven in a court of law yet. Statute of limitations might have ran out though, right, Benny?
Well, for which incident? Alleged.
We're not going to bring that up.
Yeah.
I haven't got a hound dog for, I think, 8 or 9 years now, so maybe that's a limit.
What about the Jaguar kittens?
Or maybe
well,
you
no,
do
I don't
have
feed those. I don't
maybe
have
you
to
do
feed
have
those.
dogs, and they're somewhere else.
Well,
I know lots of people who've been banned from hunting, and all of a sudden they got dogs, but all of a sudden their collars have different names on them.
You mean they've lost their right to hunt by
yes, sir.
breaking the law and being convicted?
No, they didn't lose it from breaking the law. They lost it from getting caught breaking the law.
Oh.
You don't lose your license from breaking the law. You lose your license from getting caught.
I'll have to remember
right?
that.
So
you're not
when let's see, when we were all on the big game houndsman, that was a big deal, and the coffee shop was going on, and what's his name? I call him shit the bed. John Ketzler. He went by Hagerman.
Mm-hmm.
And Sourdough and I were big pals, and I sent shit the bed over there to Northern California. He was going to Oregon, and I said, "Hey, stop in over here and pick up a couple pups for me." He says, "Oh, I don't have time to spend the night." And I said, "No, spend the night. You'll be decently surprised at who you're staying with." And so at that time, Sourdough revealed himself to him, and but on the way back, John had gone all the way over to Oregon to buy some stupid little dog. And on the way back, he opens the tailgate of his pickup and opens the dog box to let the dog out, and he never sees the dog again. So, and it just thought about switching these dog collars, Chris. So I looked around out here, and I had an old dog collar that had Richard Dickerson's name and phone number on it over in Texas. And so I got an old catch rope, and I tied the Honda off that catch rope onto that D-ring on that dog collar, and rolled it all up and took it over there as a present from me and Sourdough to shit the bed. So the next, and I also put an old fashioned drag on it from my years in my 20s. It was made out of a 1-inch wrought iron with a chain link on it, and then had probably some 3/8 wrought iron as hooks, grapplers. So I threw a drag on there too, and I think shit the bed still has that hanging on his fence. Sourdough and I did that so that next time he goes on one of those dog safaris, he could have that on there, and maybe his dog could get hung up in the fence or something at the rest stop. But you never can tell when those old collars and nameplates will come in handy, Chris.
Hey, was that one of those dogs you brought me to?
No, I don't.
You brought me a dog that had never been.
No. That guy, those were family later on. Those dogs that I got from Sourdough were those high tan dogs that came out of California.
This was a high tan dog, I think.
Yeah, I still had Clyde, my male, and I wanted a female, and so this other guy that had a bunch of those dogs gave me that dog, and she was crazy, Brett.
The one I got?
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. When I opened my dog box, she hit me in the head jumping out, and I found her at the neighbors. I set up a live trap, trying to trap her at the neighbors, and I never even could get her trapped. She was absolutely unhandled wild.
Let's see, who did I had Armando Arona pick her up, and the night he took her home, she had 6 pups.
No kidding.
And she wasn't supposed to be bred. Yeah. And I don't know, 3 or 4 of the pups died right away. He left her over on the blue for me, and I went over there to get her, and I brought her home with 2 pups, and those 2 pups ended up dying. I think the last one was 6 weeks old when it died.
They were
It was just a
real
big,
well-bred dogs, though, weren't
yeah.
they?
Well, originally, but I don't know what that other guy did with them. I don't remember his name anymore either. Mike Leonard would know, but Mike Leonard has a steel trap mind.
He's got a photographic
There's
memory.
there's a good live. There's a good live on TikTok right about vote yes. My cousin just sent it to me, and it's a chick arguing. I'll play a little bit of it here.
Things used to be, which is apex predators ruling things. And of course, I know humans want to egotistically consider themselves apex predators, and we can definitely match up to them with our capabilities and our tools and our intelligence. But
this is live.
Ultimately, we don't have the traits of an apex predator.
She's arguing with another guy.
Wildlife and wild plants and native things. We pollute and trash things. We are not the helpers
talking
of nature.
About Benny.
Also,
You're talking about Benny. She knows
the
him.
apex predators help to combat disease and wiping out the old and the sick. And I know hunters will say like, oh, well, we could do that too. And it's like, yeah, but if there's limited tags, you're not going to waste your tag on the sick, weak one. You're going to want the pretty one, or the one that definitely isn't sick because you don't want to contract something. Also, for me, it's not responsible for humans to manage, specifically with the diseased populations. It's not responsible for us to manage them, because then we could contract something and spread it. That's why I believe we should definitely leave it up to
trichinosis.
Wild
Yeah, they call that
predators,
venereal disease.
because
Well, what
they're
about the
resistant to the
poor
disease,
lions catching
and
something
they don't
sick and
tend
getting
to spread
sick
them
and
in the same
Well,
contracting?
she's saying no. She's just said she said that
with,
they will
the prion diseases,
they will clean out their own.
especially since, I mean, don't those have like a 100% mortality rate with humans?
Everything's 100% mortality
Like
rate.
CWD, is that what you're talking about? Chronic wasting disease?
Right. So for me, I know humans say like, oh, well, we could manage that, which we have proven that we're not going to manage it because it's still basically an epidemic for wildlife. But I definitely believe it would be responsible to let the apex predators, specifically
lions,
the ones that don't wreak as much havoc like the cougars and the wolves. I know bears and coyotes, they do wipe out a lot of livestock.
Wolves don't create havoc.
So, I wouldn't say like, let's do away with hunting them, but definitely the cougars, I think we should leave it up to them to control disease, because they can do it in a way that isn't going to potentially harm humans.
And
also they do it in a more
because cougars only go after the sick. Oh, that deer has CWD, guy. Let's go kill it.
I thought that was interesting, because I don't know what you guys have seen, but when I was hunting, back when I was a youngster in Arizona, probably at that time, at least 85% of the mule deer that I found lion kills were big bucks. And so
because they travel alone.
Solitary, yeah.
That's exactly right. They travel alone, and they bed down in real thick stuff, and they're just kind of there, and that lion can sneak up on them and grab him. There's only one set of eyes and one set of ears. And they were
She's saying that the wolves, everybody will conserve forests and they'll kill all the sick.
Where do people? I mean, where does someone like her get her experience? I mean, she have firsthand experience, or she just in her mind make all that stuff up?
No, this is in her mind.
How many miles have they spent traveling around, following hounds, trailing lions, and oh, I don't have the patience for that.
No, this guy's arguing with her. And
what do you mean?
Why?
They would give him this
lethal
shot that was supposed to be quick and easy, and they'd sit there for 20 minutes twitching. And we would grain feed like 30, 35 heifers every year, heifer elk. We'd bring them through the chute, shoot them in the back of the head. They'd be dead like that.
Yeah.
That.
Humane. Yeah, and this is one thing you guys don't realize. When we are hunting, we are the most humane people. We love these animals. We want to protect them. That is all what hunting is. If you're a hunter out there just shooting shit, I don't agree with it. But we
I don't know who the guy is.
Management over everything.
Well, not over everything. But I understand maybe there are certain species that, I don't know. Either way, I think our species is kind of ridiculous for thinking this is the job for us when, like, we proved in previous centuries that we're such a huge threat to wildlife. And to this day, like, wildlife populations continue to go down, even though, I know for certain species, or at least like certain species in certain ranges, their populations might increase. But generally speaking, I guess, like, my thing is I have such a global view of this where
don't ever finish.
I don't think if it's something we can't do everywhere.
That's it. That's those people. They have no argument about what they believe. So the question is, why do we do this? Because we have to put up with this crap. Why do we run dogs? It's expensive. It's time staking. It's not all fun. So why do we do this? Even if you look at the price per pound for meat, it's probably cheaper to go buy a side of beef, put it in your fridge. But in my opinion, we do it for tradition, for memories, teaching our kids.
It's just something that's in some people. I've taken guys, hunting with me that have said, well, not that they're against it or anything. They said, well, I don't ever care if I ever do that again,
Yeah.
But for some of us, I mean, you build your whole life around it.
Well, I took a handicapped lady, never been hunting, me and Elizabeth. I forgot about that bear. I think I'm up to like 11 bears I've killed out of 100 treed. We rolled, and that was the first sow I think we've ever killed. And we both kind of agreed it was very late season. It was a good shooter sow. And it was I had to wheel her in like 80 yards over Malapai Rock. It wasn't fun, She's never been hunting. She shoots this bear. It was the worst thing you could see because it just kind of hit every branch, and she literally cried about it. And me, being a sensitive, sincere guy, I'm like, hey, don't be a puss. Stop it, But she said, I don't know if I want to kill a bear ever again. And then we're done. I said, well, there, you got your bear. And she goes, yeah, but when are we going to go lion hunting? I'm like, God dang, So she had a good experience, even though it wasn't the best way as something came out of a tree. It was already dead when it hit the ground. But I took somebody that was unable to go on her own. There's no way she could have went and got a bear on her own. We had to wheel her into a dang. We had to wheel her all the way in Malapai. It wasn't easy at all. Why do we do it? I did it because I gave somebody a chance that would have never otherwise had a chance to do that. And I did it for free. We did it for free. I didn't charge, and I didn't go bragging around and saying, look at me, I'm great. I did it because we had an opportunity to do it. And every time I take somebody in that's never been hunting, it's just great, or never been behind dogs, But that's why I do it, I guess. My kids, I don't do it for the kill. I tell you that, because I don't kill a whole lot of stuff. I'm not a trophy hunter, as they call it. I'll shoot a cow elk before a bull elk. I'm just hungry. That's all it is. I don't keep this figure by shooting big old 6-pointer, 7-pointer, 300 plus. I get this body I have from a spike or a cow, or So she saw Animal Planet once, and she's a wildlife biologist. She must be from my state.
I got a little deal. Let me see. I wrote a little thing here. Let me see if I can share it. If I can figure out how to do it. Oops.
You take my dogs away in hunting, you might as well take my life, kids, family. Take my life, kids, family. It's been what I have done from childhood. Same here. Let
me see.
Brett answered the why better than anyone on his pack job video.
That's what I'm trying to get this where I can share this. I don't know if I can.
There's a lot of whys, I'm sure. But, I mean, it's a lot of trouble. These days, it's a lot of trouble. Why do people become cops these days? Stupid. No one likes them. No one likes hunters. No one likes any alpha male event or any kind of thing an alpha male will do in their life. UFC, scrutinized. hunting scrutinized.
Well, and it's even harder for the women to be involved in something that, like you're saying, is the alpha male deal. You know, I've known personally, I've known two women that were real successful lion hunters. One, I'm sure you heard of Karen LeCount. Karen,
Yeah.
she married Richard Holcomb. So it was Karen Holcomb when she died of cancer. She hunted with the Lees, she hunted with Bill Workman, she hunted with all of them. And of course, then Missy, you know, Missy, what's her last name now? Hale.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
But she had to fight and claw and scratch her way through it. Nobody wanted to help her. They wanted to give her all their junk.
Well,
See if I can
bad
share.
houndsman I know is Elizabeth. Period. Hands down.
She's good with her
She
hounds.
may
isn't
be
she?
grouchy old. She may be a grouchy old cuss and from California, and but I still
Let's
love
don't
her.
get that started again.
Not on this show. That girl has dogs. She has dogs. There ain't a person that could argue with me that she has shitty dogs or she's a shitty hound person. So
She looks like she's real good. I mean, that she's good with her dogs and everything.
yep.
Everything I've
And
seen.
she's funny. She's funny. She may not look funny and she looks mad all the time, but she's funny. It takes a while to warm up to her or for her to warm up to you. But I'd hunt with her. And her dogs taught my dogs. I lost my rig dog, and her dogs helped my dog Dirty get going. You know, when he was only 3 or 4 years old. So
Benny asked me why I, it's hard to really figure out. It's hard to say, like Chris was saying earlier, it's expensive. It's, can be heartbreaking too. I mean, there's a lot of negatives really go with it, but man, you get that the first time, that I went, it just changed everything. Of course, I always wanted to hunt from when time I was a kid, hunt with hounds because of what my granddad said. My granddad, I had a little dog Dad brought from the yard, looked like an Airedale, and my granddad said, "Oh, those are bear dogs." And I said, "Bear dogs? What do you mean bear dogs?" I was just a little bitty guy. "Oh, they hunt bears with them." And you can hunt bears with dogs. It was just amazing. And of course, everything you hear about. And after that, I read Elliot Barker's book, When the Dogs Bark Treed. And of course, he had some half Airedales. And I was hooked.
if there was a meter and Warner Glenn was 10 years old going to a tree and you could see that meter when you're going in the tree, and if today was his last day he could go into a tree was today, and you'd look that meter, I bet you'd just be right. It wouldn't be no less of the excitement of the feelings you get when you come into a tree every time. Even a slick tree, or dang man, they probably trashing. You still come in excited, and then if you're like me and discount your dogs every time, you're like, oh man, it's probably going to be a fox or elk, or and you see something, I think you just get more excited. I have 2 dogs I ran the last couple of weeks, and they both got me excited as heck. One of them I was going to give away to whatever. And my wife said, no, keep that dog. And he's actually turning out. The other one, just a crazy little female. Man, that thing's only 30 pounds. Man, she wants to go. She treed good. They both treed real good. Now I just got to get them trailing.
Isn't that, though, you can tell the excitement in your voice. Isn't that something when you have that young dog that the switch flips and you see them turn on, you see them do something, or just like that Suki dog I have, I told the story a lot of time, but, she'd never even seen a lion. They called me on those lions up there the other day, and just to watch her trail and pick up losers, she doesn't know what a lion is. And then the older dog starting to honor her, go to her. To me, it was just like, to me, that's, I didn't catch the lions, but that was worth the whole trip right there, getting to watch her. She's going to be, as long as everything else turns out all right. I've already got a deal. If, I got to get her under some trees.
Game.
Yeah. To make sure that she, she'll stay treed and do everything right. But I got a deal to breed her. It'll probably be the last breeding I make. And I'm going to try. I got a deal to breed her to a very expensive hound dog. Very expensive. Probably the most expensive one that sold this year. But because I had already sold the man a couple dogs. And he said, sure.
Even even when they're just opening up as a young pup on just trash or anything, that's that, there's some potential there, period.
Oh yeah,
If
they're
putting their
hunting.
nose down
They're hunting.
and smelling. Yeah. My Ben dog, man, he rubbed his nose raw those 2 weeks just trying to find something. So, yeah.
I remember when I think there were four of us hunting, and Clyde was a little pup. I don't know if he was 4 months old, 5 months old, and a mule deer doe kind of snuck through the dogs, and Clyde picked that up, and he just started. He acted like it was a cold track, and he never missed a lick. Went and found every step she made, and sat back on his haunches, and they said, "What are you gonna do?" I said, "I'm just gonna sit on this hillside and listen to my pup trash."
Oh yeah.
No, it's like the progression of a hound is the greatest thing a man can witness, and even better when it's out of his own line. It's Louisiana hunting. That's true too.
That's exactly
I
true.
haven't.
Yeah.
I have all my dogs right now. 95% of them are dirties. Dirties. My lead dog, my big dog, is his pups. I only have a couple that aren't. And I kind of got that going. So now I got to kind of bring some new blood in. So I've been kind of looking around, but man, it's just like you have that line, and that it could be better. I think 90% of your dogs being trashy is your fault because you're not out enough. If you're out there 9 days a week, 36 hours a day, and the dog just ain't picking it up, whatever. Or if you're not getting it under game, but if you're not out there and you're only out there twice a month and you're not putting it under game and it ain't doing nothing, you really don't have no right to cull it or get rid of it or say it's stupid until you put it to work. And I'm guilty of it. Those 2 weeks I was out, solid 2 weeks. Oh man, it didn't take long at all. It don't take dogs long at all to pick it up and say, "We're here," and they do. And within the third day, even we had a big dry spell. We went 4 or 5 days, and then started. had tree jumpers, and then once you got them, and I didn't have to kill everything. Once they're treed, man, they're happy. When you're telling them you're good, and you know what I mean. Just like kids, kid cleans the yard, even if they didn't do a good job. You say it's a good job. They're proud and they'll do a better job. You say, "Hey, you did a good job, but make sure we get the edges here." No different than a dog.
Keep
Pet them and say, "Yeah, you did a good job. You trailed them. You're treeing them."
Yes, sir.
Don't appease a human being.
Chris almost went away there. Thought he said his piece, and that was it.
Did I? That's bye.
You just blinked out for a second.
Drop the mic. So.
What do you think, Benny?
There's 1,000.
Benny always sits there and looks like he's just about to jump onto somebody. I'm always scared to say the wrong thing. He might yell at me.
My great-grandpa, my grandpa, my dad, and all my uncles were houndsmen. Maybe we should tell all the yuppies that they can't have Starbucks and shopping malls or whatever they do up in the city. And that's how they're raised. You can't necessarily blame some of the people because that's their tradition. Their tradition is to wake up on Saturday morning and watch cartoons. And then their tradition is they don't eat at tables with the family. They all sit around. They're on their phones. They go to restaurants. How many times has people been to a restaurant? 15 people in a family, and they're all on their phones.
The problem is the arrogance of those people to try to tell us what we can do and what we can't do, what's right and what's wrong. That's the problem. It's not that they go to Starbucks and the mall and everything. It's that they're going to look at us and say what you're doing is wrong, and we think that you should leave it all up to the wildlife to manage everything. And I believe that's what we're here for, is to manage things.
Everything has a part in this planet.
Yeah.
Even the lions, and those lions and bears can take us just as quick as we could take them,
Oh, yeah.
So they're doing it. Watch me go to Meat Eater.
Finish, Chris. Go ahead and finish. Now we can't hear you. What did you do?
He dropped his mic again.
Your lips are moving, but we hear no words.
That's almost like the lights on and nobody's home.
Do, 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 do. The guest has muted themselves, is what it says right here. Says guest
That
has muted
happens
himself. He did it before. Now
numerous times.
he always does it. I don't know what he does. Look at him.
I don't know.
There you are a little bit. It says the guest is muted. No, you're not. You're not muted now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but it sounds like you're in a different mic. It's not on your main mic. We just lost 50 people because of you.
Probably. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but it's not out of your main mic.
You're talking out of a bucket.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
We hear you, but it's not out of your main mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but it's not out of
I
your
don't
main
know.
mic.
It's showing. How about now?
Same.
How about now?
Same.
How about now?
We can hear
I
you,
don't
but
know.
it's not
How
good
about
audio. You have bad audio.
Let me sign out and sign back in.
This is our chance.
Now we can say bad things about him. That means I got to let him back in when he comes in here. What we need to answer is why we do this right here. Why do we do these Monday Night Lives? How long have you been coming on with us, Benny?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah. You used to have John was on here every week, and now I can't think of the guy's name. That's bad on me.
George?
That's not right.
George?
George Lambert.
There you are, Chris. You're loud and clear now.
I just restarted it.
A fluke. Technical difficulty. That's right.
And I ate some banana. Maybe that's what helped.
You need to eat before you come on the show or after you get on the show. We don't need to be watching you eat.
Yeah, I'll wait. I could ASMR it.
No, don't.
Brett loves ASMR.
Terrible. How long have we been doing this Monday night deal, Chris?
A year?
A year?
Over a year, because I think we started in August.
How long has Benny
then-
been coming on?
Yeah,
At
I
least
was here. when
six or 8 months.
George Lambert was here, and John was here, and they were
Papa,
regulars.
Papa John?
Yeah, Papa John.
They all moved on to better things, I guess.
George moved to a location, probably one of the only locations in the world where Starlink will not work.
There's a couple spots.
He lives in one of them. And then John, I don't know what happened. John, he used to come on. But John's more of a cook than he is a houndsman.
Yeah. I don't know. He should be making some of them bear videos. He just got a bear, right? He should be cooking that bear.
Right here in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
They went up northern New Mexico. They caught a few bears.
Yeah. Do we know who he was hunting with?
I think he told me, but I can't remember. I don't recall. I don't know many of those northern houndsmen. They live in a different world up there.
Genesis 1:26. What is that? Let us make man, right? Know what Genesis?
I think it's...
I'll find the money. There's my wife saying, ooh, all my support, loving support. Because the next thing is fun is running hounds is talking hounds. I would love to have I would love to just go build an old gas station. Don't even have to have gas that everybody show up at end of the day and tell your stories. I guess that's what we are. Maybe we'll just call it the gas station. Yeah. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness. Then make rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky.
And the lions in the mountains.
And the lions and the bears in the trees.
Over the cattle, over all the earth, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, including that bimbo that was creeping on the live.
Well, it's a bimbo. She don't like hunting. What could we go after on these anti-hunters that would just drive them absolutely mad?
I don't know.
What do they? What do they do? What do they do besides cause trouble?
I shouldn't let out this side of me, but when I was in the Guadalupes all the time, I was there constantly, and I was the only one hunting the Guadalupes, and Brian was down there in Carlsbad, Brian Nygren. He was a sergeant, and he was the one that started all my crossway stuff. And I thought, man, I should catch a lion and whack it, and then hang it upside down by its back feet on one of those highway signs so its tail's hanging over its back, and I thought, yeah, that probably wouldn't help the situation any, but if you could do something like that in somebody's doorway that acts that stupid, they just spaz out. My son-in-law at the time, Jed, Jed,
Mm-hmm. I know
and
Chad.
yeah, he was a government trapper, and he was like top notch. He was a top notch trapper, and they had to kill a wolf that had been. It was back when they enforced the three strikes you're out, and there was some goofy gal, young gal that showed up. Somebody clued her in that they were going to go catch this wolf and kill it. And so Jed killed the wolf, and it wouldn't get in a trap. It had been trapped too many times. So Jed killed the
You're
wolf,
smart. Yeah.
and this gal ran down there and snatched up that wolf and ran screaming and threw it in her car and took off for Wisconsin. There's no way that you can deal with people of that mental capacity.
Oh, I know. I know.
And as comical as it is, it's also extremely disturbing that there are people that go to that length.
I tell you what, now that lady where I went up there and caught that lion that killed her dog, she probably would be after all lions. I mean, she didn't. She was happy, happy, happy.
Have you ever
Have an
gone
eight,
duck hunting?
A duck hunting.
have an 8-year-old grandson that killed a nice bear last weekend out of a tree stand. And after we got him, he looked at me and said, "Paul, it's way more fun with dogs." And I said, "Son, you're right."
That's a
Yeah,
good kid right there now.
I'm not a big bait hunter, and I have a guy that he'd go run lines with dogs or with somebody, killed lion, and he would just hated that I ran bears with dogs. I said, "Why?" He goes, "Because it's not fair." A bear. A bear runs way further than a lion, and the bear will kill more dogs than a lion. And he was killing them over baits on the reservation. I said, "What is that?"
What's fair
That's
about that?
that is, you know, if they said the only way you could kill a bear lion is with a knife, I would do my damnedest to do it. If you wanted to fair it up,
I think that's the only way Benny ever killed him.
yeah, or his bare hands.
He couldn't draw the attention to himself by the sound of a gun.
He crawl up that tree and do this, thump, right in the back of the head. Pull him by his tail, thump him in the brainstem. Done. Too bad the wolf didn't come back to life in her car. They make a lot of
One
money
thing
with
about
these
Jed,
debates.
yeah, and Jed and another guy were standing there, and they were looking at each other like, "What just happened, and what do we do now?"
What's the next step? Oh,
Well,
me.
it's just astonishing to me how someone can just it consumes them so bad that we're doing something they don't do. That
They have too much time on
they
their hands.
they dedicate their whole life because they don't like what we do. So
But they
and
don't know anything about it.
what are you gonna take from them? There's nothing they have in their life. What they haven't, you know how you destroy anti-hunter? Everybody quits hunting for a year. What are they going to do? They'll probably just sit and rot in their house and die of boredom watching Jersey Shore or some dumb Housewives of New York or something.
Chris,
These
I
are
got an aunt. I've got an aunt that was spent her whole life in the country. When we were kids and we didn't live in Arizona, and my brother and I would go back to Arizona every summer, we stayed there because they lived out in the country. And she despised coyotes. And she lives in Sun City today, and she lives on a golf course. And when she first lived there, I told her, "Doesn't it bother you to see those coyotes?" She says, "Oh, I just wish I could get a gun and shoot them." And today, she says, "I really enjoy watching those cute little coyotes run and play and go hunt." And it's like, what the heck happened? What happened? This is my aunt. And I used to drive my mom's Cadillac in the evenings. Everybody's thinking about going to bed, and I'd say, "Hey, I'm gonna run, take a drive." And I'd get in her Cadillac and I'd chase those coyotes up and down the streets in the neighborhoods of Sun City, and try to run them down. All the old people were asleep and there weren't any cops out, but I never did get one smashed. But these people live with all these predators, and coyotes may not be an apex predator, but they're pretty top of the line, and they're survivors.
They're
I mean,
survivors.
I saw a video. Yeah, I saw a video of when it Tommy Lee's wife had to fight a coyote for one of their little yippy dogs in California. Came in
Tommy,
the backyard.
not Tommy Lee Jones.
No,
That's a gated. That's a
oh,
gated neighborhood. There no coyotes can get in there.
so at my folks' house in Sun City, they tell me they've got a coyote. They've got a cinder block fence in their backyard, and on the side, it's only 3 or 4 feet tall, and then it steps up and goes up 6 foot tall in the back. And they said they have a coyote gets on that fence and gets up on the top and walks it, looking to see if it can find any quail or rabbits or somebody's little dog. And I said, so how often do you see this coyote pull this? Oh, probably a couple of times a week at least. And I said, so how come you don't shoot it? Well, shoot it with what? I don't care. Shoot it with anything. I'll bring a spear gun over there, or one of those blow guns, a dart gun. Grind some edges on that dart and dip it in an oleander, get some poison on it, and whack it. But they all like to see it, and even with all the trouble that they get from all this wildlife, they still like it. You cannot reason with people like that.
Nah.
What do I have
Nope.
here? But then there's something about using an animal to hunt an animal that really, kind of fascinates me. Even like when they use falcons to catch, rabbits and stuff, and all that stuff, or those Mongolians with those big old eagles.
Eagle. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
And they catch wolves. Yeah, that is like the baddest thing around.
If you gave me a choice to go to Africa or Mongolia to hunt, like I would choose Mongolia and go ride them little horses and just.
Those Mongolians too. They are wicked horsemen. I mean, slide
ridiculous.
Underneath their horse and shoot a bow underneath the horse's neck. That's some cool stuff. That's cool stuff. I've slid off the back or off the front.
I don't think they could somersault and shoot something.
and throw their boots up in the air at the same time.
Well, for the record, Brett didn't either.
I didn't know I could do it till I did it. No, but if that's how Genghis Khan, the horse, I told this before, the horse was everything to him. Or to them. I mean, they bled them, they milked them, they ate them. I mean, and that, when they conquered the Roman forces, the Roman army, it was because the Romans were on those great big, draft type horses that all armored up and they couldn't move. And those Mongolians on those little fast horses just ate them alive.
Man, my best horse has been a little Navajo horse, little res horse. My cousin, he's one of them roper guys, and they like them fancy horses. He's always making fun of my Mustangs. Your Mustang, crap. I could feed my Mustang the most molded bale of hay, and it'll wake up the next day and just go just as much.
Well, you got to get the right tool for the job, though. You don't see many Mustangs at the NFR.
But those Navajo
but it'd be nice if someone did.
Do what, Benny?
I said those Navajo horses are good horses.
They're kind of like my mules, aren't they?
They're tough.
I don't know,
big boned.
Pate mare's Navajo. I don't think I'll ever be allowed to ride Pate mare again, though.
She got old?
No, that over there at the Taylor place because.
Yeah. She was a nice little horse.
Tyler's middle daughter. Yeah, she's taken that over. That's the horse that the kids ride in their rodeos.
That one I rode bucked.
Hard.
Right
up until 4-year-old Olivia got on him that afternoon with no saddle and no bridle.
Well, I rode all the the rough off of him. That's what happened. Time I was done with him, he is a kid's horse.
I guess that's accurate, Brett. That's accurate.
Oh no.
Yep.
Anyway,
I don't know I think they're making it tougher to fight, but I do see a lot I see a lot of resistance for that 127 in California or in Colorado, and I'm seeing a lot of people pushing to protect ourselves in Arizona with the 134.
What's the 134? Oh, no, that you can't change the law by the ballot initiative or whatever.
Well, no, you can, but if you get a majority, you can't just take this county and get 1 million signatures, because if this county says no, then it don't happen. It's really a good checks and balances, because what they're doing is they're taking these really populated areas and getting their signatures and getting their votes, but the voting system's not really fair on that scale anymore. Like California, if you took, I don't know how you'd make it fair. I'm not a politician, or I never even sat around and thought about it. It's a lot of thinking. But when you have just millions of people,
it's a lot of thinking
in a concentrated area, the guys outside of that concentrated area don't have a chance, you know.
No, yeah.
So,
the majority rules, and where the majority is in the city, and they think different than us, then it's not fair.
And honestly,
right.
I think if, let's just say California wants to use hounds again, and they do a ballot initiative to bring back hounds, I think it should be where the hounds are used, or where the hunting occurs, not in Los Angeles. Who gives a shit rat's ass?
Make it illegal to run hounds in Los Angeles. That's all right.
Yeah. If there's a town over 100,000 or whatever they want to invoke, then you can't run hounds over there. Or a county that has per square, how many people per square mile? Like Utah. What is Utah? Isn't Utah only like, it's not very much. 6 per square mile people. And I gotta look it up now.
I don't know.
I
know there's a lot of church steeples in Utah. There's those Mormons are everywhere.
Yeah. Yep. Let me tell you something about the Mormons. I just kind of plugging around about.
Be careful.
The farmland they own. When this world goes to shit, you better know or be a Mormon, because the farmland and acres they own is it's just ridiculous. It's just a plethora of acres. And they're smart. They'll own the crops. They'll own all that. If we go to shit or whatever happens, China ain't going to come over here and farm what they have. That stuff's going to be passed around. But the Mormons, they own a lot of acres. Look it up.
No, they believe in survival. That's
how you going to eat?
And taking care of their own. There's no doubt about that.
You're going to have to become a Mormon to eat. So, me, I'll just keep eating dogs and coyotes and bears and lions. Horses.
Whatever's available.
What
else?
Yeah, don't hunt cats in Denver. Yeah, make it where you can't hunt cats make it where you can't hunt a lion within 5 miles of Denver. I don't know. Or within a mile.
I don't think it's going to pass. From everything I've heard, I don't think it's going to pass.
It's looking good, because you got county commissioners, counties coming out saying this is bullshit. You got a lot of, and I'm glad this got a lot of attention. And it got so much attention that now there's a bill being pushed in Arizona to knock them idiot, scum-sucking, ragweed anti-hunters like Hases and all them. I better just be careful what I say, but they're idiots. They're just stupid idiots. They're idiots.
Brainwashed idiots.
Effing business. Mind your own effing business. You know what I mean? How about we outlaw TV? That's what we do. That's all people do is watch TV. They don't, or their phones. How about you get back to family time? And we wouldn't have this problem of idiots. There's a lot of people. Do you hunt? Well, I used to as a kid. Why don't you now? Oh, I'm just too busy. That's the problem. The younger generation is the problem. It's not their fault. It's not their fault that their dads, they're worthless dads, or or their liberal, crappy parents didn't take them hunting or even give them the chance. Like with religion, my kids, I'm like, you can do whatever you want. If you want to go be a Jehovah's Witness, go ahead. If you want to be a Mormon, go ahead. If you want to go to church, go ahead. It's not what I do, but you guys can do it all you want. You don't want to hunt, don't hunt. It's all right if you want to be a big.
But you expose them. But you expose them to it. That's your job.
I give them the opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even at a young age. Am I Am I manipulating? Probably. I don't know what that was. Gave his little sisters a ride around the yard.
We missed a lot of that, Chris. You were
Really?
glitching.
I don't know why. I got good internet here too. My 10-year-old saddled up a horse, took his little 6-year-old sisters around the yard. They're exposed to that. I mean, I'm basically brainwashing, manipulating them. They have the opportunity to do it.
That's
but
that's
opportunity.
my grandson. I was supposed to leave to go on elk hunt with him today, and I couldn't make it. And but I was trying to find a picture here. Man, he started hunting lizards in the yard there up at camp when he was just a little bitty guy with his BB gun. And one thing about him that's really cool, I mean, he takes care of my dogs for the most part, and he's really, really good with them. I mean, he's unbelievable. He works with them with little scent drags and things like that. That's, I don't know how beneficial it is in the long run, but I think it's just another opportunity to be out with the dogs. And let me see if I can find this picture.
Yeah.
But
anything you do with a dog is beneficial. It's creating a relationship, no matter how worthless you think it is.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't have dad. That's 100% true. That
I didn't.
I was gone for 4 years working, and that made a big impact. I've been home for 2 months full time, and the difference in attitude and relationship is 180 degrees the opposite way of what it was. And I was here weekends, every weekend, but not being here full time it impacted. It was a big impact.
Yeah, I more or less raised my grandson with my daughter. I mean, his dad wasn't around very much, so he was always with me, especially when I was up there at camp and before. I was living up there in the mountains, and he wasn't in school yet, so he spent lots and lots of time with me up there.
That's a fact, Gene. Kids can catch a dog. You can't all day. That's nothing that makes you matter. When I'm like, get your ass over here. Get over here. And that kid walks over there and it runs to that kid and you're like, you son of a gun. God.
Walks right up to it.
Right up. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how my son got that puppy from Richard Dickerson.
Oh, yeah, you told that story.
Catch that pup. He says, yeah. He says, boy, if you can catch that pup, I'll give it to you. He showed up in a few minutes. He says, I wouldn't believe that.
I had it's not dogs. I had a rooster you could not catch. And I had a kid come over, someone else's kid. And I said, I tell you what, you catch that rooster, you can have that son of a bitch. That kid spent 45 minutes chasing that rooster around until he caught that rooster. And I said, it's yours. You can have that dumb rooster. I'm tired of hitting it with a shovel. Where's Dylan? Is Dylan still here? You still here, Dylan? We should get him on for a couple minutes, I guess.
Yeah. He should have the link somewhere, shouldn't he?
I don't know. I didn't. Someone asked if Dylan was still here. Come on, Dylan, if you're listening. I know you're listening. Don't play hard to get. Wasn't he supposed to already go on a hunt or go shooting or do something?
Yeah, he'd said something. I kind of lost track.
Well, he didn't get on for a couple times. Or maybe we ignored him. The San Gabriel Mountains, which are in Los Angeles County, have a lot of bears, mountain lions, and mule deer. It would be great for hound hunting. How far outside of San Gabriel Mountain in Los Angeles County, how far outside of Los Angeles are those? 10 miles? 5 miles? 15 miles? Lots of top-notch lion hunters are Mormon. Did you already answer that, Benny? Roland Mayan? Yeah. Oh, I thought.
Yeah, it's Mahan.
Or Mahan. Maine's deer season should be open. Dylan should be seeing deer now. Dylan! Damn it. I think he got off. Gene Morris sent a funny welding, and I can't find it on my phone.
Hold on, guys. Chris, you're talking, but you have no sound again. I don't know what you keep doing. It's not me. Benny, can you talk?
I can talk. Can you hear?
Yeah, you're all right. It's Chris.
I don't know if that's the correct way to say that.
That's Chris?
I'm all right. It's just Chris.
Oh, well, yeah, that's probably not correct, but he's got to go off and come back on. We already got 1 thumbs down. What did we do? There's my grandson when he was a little bitty guy. He's 20 years old now.
That's got to be about a 3.5-week-old pup.
Has a little one, yeah. Let me see if I can find another one while Chris is messing around here. Here you go for all the coon hunters in the gallery. That little daytime coon right there, dog's treat. Chris must be having some.
He keeps spitting off pieces of his cigar, and I think he's spitting it right into his technical stuff.
That was when I took him and he almost froze to death up there.
Hey, I'm with him. There wasn't even any snow when you took me.
It gets a little cold up there from time to time. It did. I never noticed it that much. I kind of got acclimated to it, I guess.
That's Chris Bird wants to know. There you go.
He was
Hey,
proud. That was a Boone and Crockett
Oh,
lizard
dude.
right there.
I'll guarantee you that tail on that lizard's worth an extra 45 bonus points.
He run around out there with shorts on, no shirt, and barefooted and hunt those lizards.
You know, see this Chris Bird? Question, guys, if you were going to carry a handgun for lions or just went out in the backcountry, what caliber would you choose? Just curious. So tell us the parameters of your lions. Are you gonna do everything by the book? Is this just self-protection? Are you trying to hide the big boom? Are you know, what's your purpose? Because if it's illegal, we may have to consult other people that aren't here.
I don't carry it with me because I just don't have a lot of confidence in a handgun. But I think a 1911 45.
What
That's
caliber?
45.
45.
Yeah.
You know,
I ca-
45 doesn't have a lot of range, but if you get hit, it's like getting hit by a bus.
Yeah. I carry it in my door sleeve of my truck right there where it's handy. But when I'm out in the hills, I'm always I carry that 410. You know, I like that little 410. And I've got like a number 6 shot, I guess, in the first three rounds, and then I have slugs after that. But you make sure, I've said this before, make sure you get high quality ammo in the slugs because a low quality slug doesn't do much good. Don't ask me how I know, but I know. Another one of those top secret things.
I had a bobcat in a tree, and this guy that was there had some 22 shorts, and he kept hitting that bobcat and hitting that bobcat and hitting that bobcat with 22 shorts. And I said, why don't you just let me get up there and knock that bobcat out of there with a stick? So that's what I did. But I told a part of that story one time. I almost fell out laughing at that guy. He was screaming and squalling so much. But I can tell you that a 22 short, 15 feet away from a bobcat has no effect on him.
Doesn't you know, I didn't realize that until a guy that I really don't care for told me. I always thought you had to use a center fire cartridge on lions here in New Mexico, but now you can use a rimfire, a 22. I'd like to I'd like to get a 22 mag Henry rifle.
Oh yeah,
to carry. I think that'd be just the ticket for a lion.
Man, I used to carry, just in case something showed up, Model 94 22 mag.
Oh yeah.
In my scabbard. Yeah, and you know, I probably killed 2,000 jackrabbits with it, and a couple dozen coyotes, and maybe one or two other animals that I'm not sure of.
Ocelots.
I was trying to get Henry to sponsor our show, but
we're not good enough.
They haven't gotten back to me yet. They did. They responded the first time. They said, "Let me know. Maybe we can do we'll be able to work with you or something like that." And I haven't heard back from them.
You sure the guy wasn't from California and seen the wrong episode?
Might have been. Doesn't matter. I'm going to say what I think anyway. I don't care about they can sponsor what I think or not. Well, we talked about why did we start doing these lives? That's what I look back on it now, and I remember us all talking, like it wasn't a Zoom meeting, it was one of these eCam things. But then I remember saying, hey, all we got to do is press this live button. It'll go live. And we just started doing it.
Well, and people started watching.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fun.
But I think to
get all the comments and everything, see the people that are here, it's pretty cool.
And I think more people would get on if they knew how easy it was to get on. And, every time I invite somebody, they panic. once they get on, they're like, man, that's pretty good. It's easy. And it is. You just start talking. We have no script. We have no, we just like to talk about what you talk about around a campfire.
Well,
period.
And we have a Benny.
And we have a Benny.
The other ones would do a lot better if they had a Benny.
And there's a lot of good podcasts out.
I'm not going to whore myself out just like this, all over the internet.
You're loyal.
Well, send that $5 back we've been sending you then, Benny.
Yeah, if you go somewhere else, we're going to cut your pay.
I think it's just when it's their opinions. We're not trying to state no facts, and there's a lot of good podcasts out there that they have a lot of good information, but there's also a lot of podcasts out of there that are real boring,
Cold Strike started a podcast. We need to call him out. I seen one episode. He had George Lambert on it. You can find it on Apple or Spotify, can't you? And YouTube. So look up Cold Strike, guys. He interviewed George Lambert, and George has always been kind of a regular here.
Yeah, Dustin swiped him from us.
Dustin from Cold Strike Gear.
I'll tell you what it is right here, right now.
He sells Garmin. He sells Garmin stuff too, doesn't he?
coldstrikegear.com, and he's picked up all the Garmin, so he sells all those.
Is that a conflict,
competitive.
though? Is that a conflict since W Hunting Supply sells that too? Is that a conflict of interest for us?
Not unless they're going to sponsor this show. If they want to sponsor this show, they want to put their little name on our show and say this live is brought to you by, W.
Isn't it almost sponsored though, because they take it and use it as a podcast?
If we send it to them, but we also have our own, so
a
little competition won't hurt old Woodbury.
You see that? Michael Hanlon figured this deal out, Brett.
Michael and Benny had to unretire after taking this gig.
Maybe he's paying us to be on the show.
He had to go get a job just to be on our show. Oh, and then Onyx more or less kind of sponsors this in a way. They sponsor my other channel, Born 100 Years Too Late. But I should also call them out. What is that code? 100 years? Born 100?
For what?
You get 20% off if you use that when you
Onyx?
because they sponsor me.
Years.
Is it 100 years?
100 years, isn't it?
I can't remember.
I'm going to look it up. I look it up right now. Let me go to your... If you guys would go to Born 100 Years Too Late and watch his last video, you would know this. People that are on here.
Also, a good company, and they've been really good to me, is Olight. And you use B100 YTL, and you get a percentage off, and then they give me a little kickback from that too.
Or you can go camping with Brett and just borrow his.
Yeah, and then take it, put it in your saddlebags, and tell him he dropped it on the trail.
He fell off his horse and lost it.
Yeah.
But any of those companies, I mean, when they contacted me, I told them about this channel and then about my Born 100, and they were good. Oh, there it is.
You find it?
100 years.
Just 100 years.
Now, if I can figure out how to get rid of it there. 100 years, and I think you get 20% off, and then I've sold 200 memberships for them.
There you go.
So they're pretty happy with me, I guess.
Hound Talk by Cold Strike.
Hound Talk by Cold Strike, yeah.
And let me tell you about the trouble I got into with that, because I got a guy that said those guys are thieving, stealing, no good for nothing. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Cold Strike is?
Well, yeah, I posted their little thing on one of the, I think it was Working Dog Alliance, or one of the groups comes in just ragging about them. And I said, well, I guess Dustin's a busy guy. And he's like, I don't know who Dustin is, but those guys is, and I didn't realize it's not Cold Strike. It was Cold or Ground Strike or something. He misread it.
He got him confused.
Yeah. And then somebody deleted it. Maybe Dustin did, or maybe he did. And he got on there and said, I don't think it's very, I think it's childish to delete me from the group. And I look it up. I'm like, you're not deleted from the group. You're still in it. I don't know what happened. And Jared Fisher's the only other moderator or the admin on that. And I said, "You delete that?" And he said, I don't know how to delete that. Jared took a dog. He'll probably talk about it Wednesday, but he took a dog over there to the vet in Safford because it had a collapsed lung. And he thought he did it by snorting all them seeds, and it got all messed up. But he took it over there, and the dog ended up dying, like, quick. And when they cut it open to see what was wrong with it, it was like an old injury from last year. And they're kind of like, I can't believe this dog made it this long.
These hounds are tough.
It's a hound.
They're tough.
Nothing is
Hound.
tough. Nothing as tough as a hound.
No.
The only thing that might be as tough as a hound is a Mongolian man breaking a horse.
Or a kid, Mongolian kid. I've seen kids riding.
Yeah, them 8-year-olds would probably beat our asses up on that trail, But they're raised for that. Today, kids are raised in timeout or no, or they're not raised with a switch.
No.
Yeah, So
my dad
I just watched it.
My dad didn't need a switch. He had whatever weapon was close to him.
Yep. Just like a Mexican mom with her chunkla. Or a clump.
Hey, did any of you guys see any of those videos with John Clump and his Longhorns?
Oh yeah, on Facebook.
That was that 4-year-old Olivia on that first Longhorn on the front of the truck.
Yeah, she stole the show.
Yeah. Hey, look at Wayne Bisbee showed up.
There's Wayne. His daughter won a cook-off.
What?
Yeah, she up there. I think it was chili beans, wasn't it, Wayne?
Send us a picture. Got to have some pictures. Where's all of our pictures? Usually people are sending us a bunch of pictures and videos.
Did I show a video last week of my pack trip into the wilderness?
You just showed a teaser.
But it was a video, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I don't want to rub it in, so I won't show it again.
Show them lions. Show them Louisiana lions.
Oh yeah, this is cool. Now the question is it been taxidermied or is it just?
Yeah, Jeremy. It's on a stand, and
that's
like
a pump.
It's tied at the feet.
And that's a pump shotgun.
I know. What are they using? Like buckshot?
Look at that guy right there too. Look at that hat.
Must be a choo-choo train driver. There's one more.
Oh shoot.
That lion was on some kind of a little stand.
Yeah, it's on a stand.
Look right there in the front. There's one of those rods going up.
How do I make it smaller?
I think it was just something they took a picture with, huh?
Yeah.
I don't, because I seen it looked like it had ties on the bottom feet. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, maybe that lion's alive. And look at that vest. That vest is a shotgun. It's got for the shotgun shells.
He's a bird hunter. He was out there bird hunting.
Yeah, he was quail hunting, and that lion came in to catch one of his quail, and he couldn't have that.
And that's supposed to be from Louisiana?
Maybe that's what it said. Delhi. Let me see. Let me go back. Killed in Delhi, Louisiana, 1937.
So it's one of those swamp lions from Louisiana also. Where'd you get these?
No, that's Jeremy, Louisiana Hunting, sent them to me.
Oh, okay.
Killed in 1937. Is there a story behind that?
Send him a link.
Right, we drugged this out a little bit. We went on and on about the whys. And we talked to Jeremy from YouTube's page, Louisiana Hunting. Go check him out. This is our part 1 of the why, so stay tuned for part 2 coming next week. If you have any ideas for the show, you want to get a guest on that you guys think would be a good guest, go ahead and give us an email at brett@born100yearstoolate.com.